prosecutor on a case that I'm working on and had to stop it. So yesterday I was upset. I posted a video and I was like, rah, rah, my dilemma, bah humbug. Not really bah humbug because I love Christmas and I love Jesus, but bah humbug like I'm complaining, and no one likes a complainer, right? I don't like a complainer. But sometimes you have dilemmas in life. Sometimes you show someone that your perspective, your point of view, and you think it's pretty darn accurate and pretty well thought out, and they look at you like you got two heads and you're speaking a foreign language, right? And you go, no, but you're a prosecutor, and it's important that you look at this and look. I went above and beyond, and I got the evidence, and I'm showing it to you, and the evidence shows that I'm correct, and that the officers misguided, and the arrest was wrong, and you shouldn't go forward in good faith. But you got to be really careful not to use the words good faith, because prosecutors get upset if you say you don't have good faith to go forward. It's a bad word for prosecutors. And then this morning, I wake up and I see a former Alabama teammate. Not he's limited to his use of his body. I mean, he's in a wheelchair, and it's a very difficult situation. But man, this guy has found God, and he's found positivity. And he was talking about, he was being awarded, given some type of award for his achievements, and he says that a friend of his, someone that he looked forward to seeing, I guess that person's mom passed away, and very lovely lady, and someone that will be never forgotten, and that kind of thing. And just the way he articulated his words, and I'll probably go on and grab his words, and I don't know if I can do that in the comments section afterwards, but his words were so eloquently written, so beautiful. They touched me. It was literally the first thing that I woke up, and before I even said good morning to my wife, I was looking at the phone, and she hates that, but I was looking at the phone, and I see his post, and I start to think of perspective. Like there are people with fatal diseases. There are people that are losing loved ones, and I'm fighting over DUIs, and I'm fighting over battery cases and drug cases, and like these little nuances in the law. It's like I was explaining to another attorney in the office. I said, it's like I'm going 20 layers deep in an onion, and then there's another 1,000 layers after that, and I'm on the 21st layer, and I'm just peeling it and dissecting it, and then I'm getting mad, because people don't agree with me. I'm having my little, I'm gonna hold my breath. I'm gonna hold my breath until you agree with me. And it just puts life in perspective, right? We have families, we have neighbors, we have friends that are going through difficult times. And life is difficult. Life is just a pure struggle. I don't know if it should be called life. It should be called difficulty, because there's always a struggle. There's always something to overcome. There's some obstacle that you got to get around. And part of that is life, but putting God first, and then your family and friends, and then your work or your profession. That's the right way to do it. And you just got to put it in perspective. It's a comparison. What's going to hurt me more, dealing with the passing of a loved one, or fighting like a little nuance? But hey, that's my job. My job is to fight technical arguments and to advocate for the people that don't really have a voice. And some might say, well, you're advocating for the criminal. Well, they're only a criminal if they're found to be a criminal, right? There's people that are criminal minded, but someone pays me to advocate, and you just want to do your best, right? You take an oath to God when you become an attorney. You take an oath to do the best job that you can do, and to take it serious. And I just happen to take it serious. So I'm not going back on my position. I just think that family, God, family, love, kindness, respecting others, always showing respect is a big deal. And you just can't, the reality, who's listening, right? Who's listening? You can whine and you can cry and you can say, poor me, and how did I get into this? Well, for me, I chose to get into it because it's a lot better than the neighborhood I came from, right? I'd either be working in a factory or I would have, be punch drunk right now with my boxing career, still trying to fight. Switching into the UFC and getting twisted like a pretzel. I chose to do what I do, and you choose to do what you do, and we choose our friends and we choose our relationships. We don't get to choose our family, but we get to choose how they affect us, how space is used in our mind. Don't let folks rent space, right? If it's in a negative manner. And when I read Kerry's beautiful, eloquent statement on Facebook, I just went, I'm not even angry anymore. I wasn't even upset. Now, as the days gone by, I've gotten upset again. Just so you know, I'm not. It's following the Lord. Being a Christian means a lot of things to a lot of different people. To me, it means hope. It means kindness. It means love. And it means doing the right thing when other people aren't looking. But all of those things come with opposition and struggle. They all come with their hardships. Doing the right thing can be very tough. It's a lot easier to, back up out of a conversation or debate, or, it's easy to close your eyes and your ears when someone's doing something wrong, right? Because they're friends or family. It takes a lot more to stand up, especially if what you're saying isn't popular or people think you're a sellout for doing it. So I think it's, people say, well, like bad people, this and that, but I think it's harder. I think it's a choice. You choose to be good. You're not inherently good. You are inherently, flawed and sinful person. You have to work at it, and no matter how much you strive, there is no such thing as perfection, right? There is no perfect human being. There is no perfect husband, no perfect wife, no perfect parent, no perfect child, et cetera, et cetera. It's you choose moments, and the more moments you choose and the more you follow the book, and the more you care and give consideration to what others are going through in life, I think that it grows. It's like a fungus. Like you get a little bit of goodness, and then you do a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and it just grows, and it can overcome you. And yes, you, the person who's watching this, who has done bad things in their life and treated their family bad and hurt others and stole and robbed and lied and cheated and done all of these different things, you can get grace. Like, you can have a positive impact on this planet. And isn't that what everybody's striving for? I'm trying to change lanes, but Speedy Gonzalez behind me. I don't know. I'll sit and watch motivational speeches on YouTube or an inspirational movie, and I just go, man, I want to do better today. And then I read the Bible, and then I go, man, I want to give it to Him. I want to follow. Oh man, I looked. Did you see her legs? Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh, you're a sinner, Roger. You're a sinner, right? And all the things that that go along. Or like, I curse, and I make a YouTube video when I'm talking and I curse, and I go, that's not a good example. of being a Christian. That's not a good example. I understand I'm human, but I put myself out there as a Christian guy, someone who cares and loves thy neighbor and follows the word and inspires to to be a follower of Christ. And when I do things and I curse or I have an attitude or I puff out my chest and I flex my muscles, they're all gone now. But you know what I mean. When my head gets too big, or we all have this, right? We all have issues that we can work on and we can be better at. And some of the things that we take issue with, some of the complaints we have, I can't believe Sally did this. I mean, did you see what I can't believe that the way that person talked to me, I can't believe that this officer did this, or, those kinds of things. And we all do it. We're all Karens and Kens to some extent, right? We all have our days and our moments where we're, sorry, I'm pulling the shirt down so I don't look as fat. I'm slimming down. I keep telling myself that, and one day I'm just going to be like a straw, too slim. We all take issue with whatever, how someone parked, how someone acted, how someone lifted their nose to us, that kind of thing. And it's like the saying goes, until you've lived in someone else's shoes, you really don't know. So following the book kind of gives you a guide. Don't be too proud. Don't think you're too much. Don't be too highfalutin. It's all his. You are given gifts and you have an ability to use them. You might be financially secure, but you need to look out for those that aren't. And I'm not saying just a handout, but I'm saying that those that need help in a Christ-like spirit, helping your fellow man. I think about sports, and I think about boxing, right? And I did well in boxing, right? And I won some awards and I won a lot of fights and that kind of thing. But can you imagine if I never acknowledged my opponent? If I never acknowledged my opponent and I'm sitting, in the ring with my trophy and I'm raising it up, if I didn't have someone to fight, if I didn't have a fellow man stand up to his fear, just like I stood up to my fear and got in there and laced them up and did the work, no one would be cheering, right? No one would be cheering. It takes two to tango. You need opposition. You need competition, especially in sports. But I think in life, it helps you. But you have to, I've been in fights and someone said, "Oh, that guy's a bum," boxing match. And I'm like, yeah, I just don't say that about people, because I know that there are people that get into the ring and you really learn about it yourself. You learn about who you are as a person. And I guess that goes for women now, because there's a lot more women fighters these days. So I'm not excluding based on gender, but never fought a female. But what about your teammates? What about your sparring partners? I had a great sparring partner named Llewellyn Cooper in Birmingham, Alabama. And there were days that I got the best of him, and there were days that he beat the crap out of me. I remember one day I said, I watched a bunch of old like Joe Frazier videos and like Tyson videos, and I said, I'm gonna be in tight. I'm gonna throw short punches. I'm this 6'4", 200-some-pound guy. But I decided that day I wanted to experiment. And I said, Llewellyn, I'm coming today, brother. I'm gonna bring it. And he picked me apart and beat the crap out of me. So when I had successes, when I won a Golden Gloves tournament or went to the national tournament or got selected to be on the USA boxing team to travel, when I became an honorary member of the the Mexican Olympic Committee, not the committee, but the Mexican Olympic team. I got an honor. I was the only American to do that. I thank people like Llewellyn, because they made a difference. All of the coaches that I had, all of the teammates that I had, people that went running with, people that I emulated, like, Antoine Eccles, or even though I never met Michael Dunn, we were supposed to spar, and just never worked out. But I would watch fights of different people, Lennox Lewis. Even if you don't know somebody, you can appreciate them and show kindness and reward. So I don't know. I feel like as I'm getting older, I think it's more and more important to show gratitude rather than grunting and, being angry. Sure, I still get angry, but I watch something like Kerry Good. I read something like Kerry Good's statement on Facebook today, and I go, man, put it in perspective, Foley. Put it in perspective. You have a lot of blessings. Um, just go do your thing. Put the anger aside. Anger fuels me. I got to tell you, it does fuel me. But I think we all have to put the anger aside. I used to think that when I fought, if I was angry, that would help. There's arguments for aggression that it helps. But if you're angry, you may slip in technique. Technique beats anger. Technique beats power. Technique can beat speed. And if you're relaxed and calm in a difficult situation, right? If someone comes into a store, I'm sitting in a McDonald's eating a sandwich, and I think of Coming to America, right? Eddie Murphy and whatever the guys, I forget the guy's name. They were very calm, right? They slowly unscrewed their mop things, and they used it to swipe the guy who had the shotgun or whatever. But they were calm, and I think people, they watch a movie and they go, no, but calmness, being calm and not elevating your own heart rate, allows you to have more control over a situation. I think that's true in combat sports. I think that's true in, a game like football. I think it's very important in the courtroom to be calm. I'm always impressed most by attorneys who can just whisper and they make you listen. You heard me. They whisper and they draw the jury in. They draw because they're emphatic with their tone. You can shout, or you can whisper. They both get attention. If you shout, you may scare somebody. You may scare the fact finder. If you whisper, they're going to lean to get closer to you. I don't know. So even though we all know these things, we still get angry. We still complain, and the other B word. We all make mistakes. So the point of this video was yesterday I was like blah 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 blah, and this morning I woke up and went, Roger, get rid of that, get rid of that. And then as the day went on, even though I thought about it, I was like, get rid of it. There were times in the day that I was like, but I am working on it. Because sometimes you're just like bothered, but the reality is if I had to, if I had a twin and I had to go against my twin every day, I'd probably go, that guy Roger, twin Roger, he's a, what, like, he's a jerk. He's got an attitude. He think, So you got to be cognizant of that, and so I didn't write the nasty email to the person I wanted to write it to yesterday. I didn't write it today. I said, woosah, and I put things in perspective. So, what about you? what do you think about putting things in perspective and staying calm and not losing your cool or getting angry? Um, I just think when you get angry, right, there's just more likelihood of problems. Think about people when you get into a fist fight, you get angry at, because someone took your shopping cart or parked in your spot at the mall or dinged your car, whatever it may be. Sure, it might be like, that's like a pain in the butt. You got to go get your car fixed or whatever, or someone may give you a tone or whatever, but I don't know. Maybe if somehow we could magically do a Spock and know what that person's going through. How is that person's family member? How is their life going? How's their job going? You can understand it. And we all go through those days, right? Everybody can be a jerk. Everyone can be, a Karen or a Ken. So, and lots of people can just disagree. And I just got a lot of that going on lately. A lot of people that just disagree. But, right, you saw that with the recent election, right? People just totally opposite sides of almost every stance. It's crazy, right? We're all people and we all live together, but family members dividing over, who's becoming president or who's not becoming president. Just crazy. So I think that's a good example. We're better off together than we are divided. That's just the reality. So anyway, I'm almost home. I got to study tonight. I left the office really just to avoid traffic, and said I'll just get home and not sit in the traffic, and then drink some water, eat a little bit, and study, get the work that I got to get done. I got a couple of cases this week. I got a depot on Monday. Yeah, just lots of work. So. Got to put in the dues. So that's it. That's all I got to say. I will talk to you guys later, and enjoy your evening. Enjoy the rest of your week. Don't let your anger take over. Don't be a Ken or a Karen. Love thy neighbor. Put up with it just a little bit. Direct your time into something positive, helping a fellow human being. Just goes a far way, lot further than your anger will take you. Anger will only take you in a negative direction. Be an ambassador of the man upstairs. See you guys. Bye. That's good. I just read the mercy thing from the nurse. Very nice. You do. People in the hospital are very upset, and sometimes they don't feel like they're getting the treatment that they need or want, or they're angry at their own issues, and they may take it out on you. So I'm sure being a nurse can be a difficult endeavor. All right, guys, let me go. I got to figure out how to turn this off. See you.